click this magical button here. Dun dun dun. And now we're in the after show.
Yay!
All right, everybody.
Official.
Welcome to the after show where we talk nonsense and other things.
Haven't we been doing that anyways?
Yeah, well,
Pretty much.
pretty much.
Now we don't have to talk about WoW, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, well, technically we don't
Oh, fuck
have
that game, right?
Why are we doing this pod again? I don't know. What game are we playing?
Actually, something off topic from WoW. We could start off. Did you play any Diablo 3, Seno?
Yeah, I've played a little bit, like it's the first chapter, whatever it is in that game.
Right. How'd you like that?
It's alright. I think I
Not
need
really.
to play it a little bit more, though, because I'm not that far, obviously.
Yeah. I mean, I actually, that's how I started playing, like, WoW, is I came from Diablo 2 and Diablo 1. I played Diablo 1 as a kid, elementary school. And, yeah, Diablo 2 was, like, my shit. I love that game. I was never very good at it because I was pretty young, but, yeah. And then, like, you'd log into Diablo 2, and there's, like, a lobby, and at the top, there was advertisements for World of Warcraft, and I'm like, holy shit, I gotta play this game. It's like 3D, like Blizzard Diablo kind of thing. I had never even played a Warcraft game. But yeah. So Diablo 3 coming out was like hype.
And
Really,
then
you remember Diablo 3 launch? Like that was pretty hype.
and then the crushing disappointment that was.
Oh yeah. The vanilla Diablo 3, like with the auction house, was fucking terrible. Seriously, so
we made
bad.
jokes for so long that it was like it was still in beta. It was,
I've purged it from my mind. Like it's literally like I forget how bad it was, but it was. The expansion actually fixed a lot of the issues.
Yeah, I didn't even get to cap. You had 2 tunes at cap. I didn't
Yeah.
even have 1, and I was just like, yeah, well now no one's playing, so whatever. I'll just stop. But then
We need to get Diablo 2 on all like Xan will need to get Diablo 2 and we should all play it one day.
I really
Some weekend.
Alright.
What's that?
I would really like to do that because I mean I remember the one time we tried and you guys were kind of just like ruffling me around through
Yeah, I
stuff,
remember you. Yeah,
and I'd never played
it's
it
hard
before.
because like we played it so much. We can't even like we have to just say nothing and let you guys lead.
Let's go on
It's
adventure.
mostly nostalgia, but that game, oh my god, Diablo 2. I still think it's better than Diablo 3. In some regards, it's not, everything. It's like 2D and stuff. It runs at like sub 1000 resolution. It's like 800 by 600, I think.
Hot.
Yeah.
It's super hot.
But oh man, that game is like so satisfying.
Yeah, I like that like the changes they did to Diablo 3. Like it was really for fun because we played it a shit ton when the expansion came out. I mean, we got pretty far. Like I definitely got farther than I thought I ever would because like I got a tune to 70, but I also got like D and stuff, and I was actually trying to craft and do stuff.
That was before WoD, right?
Yes.
Yeah, because I'd say that actually had a fair impact on you in WoD, because you learned a lot about like the theory crafting, if you want to call it that, just kind of like general RPG gameplay type stuff. You learned a lot of that in Diablo 3.
Yeah, that's true.
Because I remember like you were kind of resisting. Man, words today. Fuck. Like you didn't really want to get into that sort of stuff with Diablo 3, but then I kind of like I pushed it just a little bit, right? And you kind of got into it, right?
Hey, look.
Well, like I'd recommend certain things, and you tried like different builds, like lightning builds and whatever.
Oh yeah,
and,
that
like,
was
it
really
cool.
fun. That's what I liked about Diablo 3 is like, sure, there was things that were the best still, but like you could still do other things. Like there was like fire builds and then lightning builds, and the lightning build was really fun because I had like Thunder Fury and shit. Like I actually got it, and it was like really cool. And then I was trying to spec into fire, but then it was just like I was trying to get certain piece, and the re-rolls, like as much as I like them, were annoying because like you would do like use like all your mats and not get even close to what you needed. It was okay.
Yeah,
But it was a lot.
yeah,
of
that
fun.
was kind of odd. That was one of those things where like if it didn't work for you, if you used like you spent like a week trying to get this thing and it still wasn't proccing, that was not fun. Like
no.
yeah, it's not good. Diablo 2 didn't really have much. Oh yeah, they did. I don't know.
I just remember getting that Royal Grandeur ring, and I was like, it took me so. Oh, what was it? I remember something pissed me off. remember something
Right.
happened and I couldn't get it off of something that I thought that they changed it or something, and I can't
Yeah.
remember what it was, but
I think you kept getting rings because they changed it so you could get any loot, but you were getting rings but the wrong ring.
yes.
Yay, rings.
Oh man.
Oh, because the ring you wanted was
they
reduce
changed
the
it.
set.
They changed it literally a week after I started grinding it, I think. It was like
Okay.
it was like a patch. Like I was grinding it, it was like I wasn't grinding it a ton at that point, but it was like I was like, okay, I'm gonna start doing it. I wasn't getting any legendaries at all, and I was like, okay. And then the next week they patched or something, and then I was grinding it. It was getting all the wrong stuff, and I'm like, what the F is going on? Because it was like you could only get it through a cache, but then they added that you could get anything from a cache now.
Yeah.
And then I was like, I was so mad, but eventually I got it. It took me, I think it was like 200 more whatevers than you, and I was like, you fucking serious?
Yeah, you had it was a slight bit more than I had, I think.
It was,
I don't think it was too. I mean, I don't know what 200. Like, I don't know if it was 200 caches, but it was like a lot. It was a bit more than mine.
It was 200 more bounties or whatever,
Oh,
something
right.
like that.
Yeah.
It was like, oh, it was awful.
I mean, it took me more than average. I
Yes,
believe.
it did. And it took me more than that.
Yeah.
Not a shit ton, but enough.
Hey, but you got a Thunder Fury. I never got one.
That's true. And it's funny because I looted it off of a bush.
What?
Yeah.
Someone just left their Thunder Fury in a bush.
I clicked the bush and I was like, it dropped, and I'm like, okay.
Oh man.
And then
That's-
at that point, from that point on, I clicked on everything because I was like, if I can
Yeah.
get a Thunder Fury from fucking clicking on a bush, I gotta click on everything.
Oh my God.
It
That's
was
awesome. That reminds me of my first legendary, or not legendary. I don't even know what they're called. Unique? Yeah, unique. In Diablo 2, I like was in the cellar and there's like barrels, and I'm like, okay, and someone like told, like, I don't know, it might have been like Kate, my sister. She's like, loot the barrels, and I'm like, oh, why? So I looted them, and I got this unique, and I was like, what? Like from a barrel? It was awesome. So now, yeah, same thing. Like from that day, it's like always kill all the barrels.
yes. It's time consuming, but you might get Thunder Fury, so it's fine.
Well, since we're talking about old games, like what other games did you play before WoW, Xenel?
Like MMOs or just like in general?
Well, any game.
Well, it's just like a lot of like Zelda, Mario, Kingdom Hearts, God, Sonic. A little bit of Call of Duty. I never really got into that too much though.
Right.
Um,
Any PC games like I don't know,
not really.
Minecraft or anything like that?
I played a little bit of Minecraft, but it's just I got bored of it pretty quickly.
Yeah. I played like a day of it and I was like, I like it, but I don't know. Kind of
Yeah.
didn't, I guess. I don't know.
Did you ever play any like Steam games?
Not really. Like I got a little bit into PC gaming before World of Warcraft. Like I think I had Portal, and that was about it.
Ooh,
Portal's great
Portal.
though.
Did you play
Yeah.
like the original Portal?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got Portal and Portal 2 for like $8 on sale.
Yeah, that man, when that game came out, I was pretty giddy. That game was awesome.
Yeah, I think it was you guys that got me to play it, and it was awesome. I mean, I've been wanting to play the second one, but it's like I feel.
I think I got you to play it on my computer when I had a good computer relative to yours.
Yeah.
Back with like my projector, and you played it, and you were like, "This is amazing." You were kind of confused, but also you liked it.
Well, yeah, because you guys kept doing the hint, like, you know, like I think it was like you kept saying like the cake is a lie, and like I didn't get it.
Oh,
Right?
right.
And I was like, okay, and you're like, you have to play this game to like understand. You have to get to the end. And I'm like, okay, because you totally do that. You're like, you got to get to the end before you find out what it is.
I won't spoil it.
And I'm like, okay. So, and I think I played it, and then I think we got it legally, wink wink, on my computer when I got a good one.
LOL.
And yeah, I beat it, and it was awesome. I was like, lol, the cake is a lie. Then
Yeah, it's a good game. Definitely
is.
like one of the games that like formed. What am I saying? One of the unique games in the past, like really unique standout games. Kind of like created a whole new genre or something.
Yeah, and I
that
mean,
they haven't really paid attention to much.
Yeah.
totally. And it's a really interesting speed running game too. Like, to watch it being speed
Ooh, we can talk about
Yeah.
speedruns.
We could. I know Xano did a little bit of speed running. Some, was it Oracles?
No, Minish Cap.
Finish Cap. That's
Ooh. I think I played Minish Cap, and I think I really liked it. It was like one of the few... That's on the Game Boy Advanced or something, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I really like that one.
Yeah.
'Cause you go little, and then you go through like the little holes in the houses and stuff, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, the game was awesome. I haven't seen it or played it in forever, though. Probably like 5 years.
I had it on my phone when you hacked my phone so I could play them,
Oh, really?
the Game Boy Advance games and stuff.
Oh, I can't stand playing emulators on a phone.
It wasn't
That's so awful.
it wasn't that bad, but it was pretty bad.
Kind of was, but kind of wasn't.
Yeah, it was like it was okay, but Minish Cap was fun. I liked it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you remember like what got you into speedruns at all, Xanel?
I know that it was like watching people like Cosmo, Demon, like
Yeah.
the bigger people. But then I don't know if you guys know who Rule, whatever his numbers are after that, but it's like I don't know how I found his stream, but it's just like he was learning Minish Cap speedruns, and I was just like, oh, this looks pretty interesting. And that's basically how I got into that.
Right.
Is
Cool.
that the only game you run?
Yeah, I was learning A Link to the Past a little bit, and I was trying to learn Wind Waker, but my disc is scratched just so badly, I just can't.
That sucks. Wind Waker is really entertaining, like so much.
Oh yeah,
It's
it
so-
just keeps getting more entertaining as it goes on, I think, just because they find new things.
Oh yeah. Well, the Zelda runs are just like really good, and it's not just because they're nostalgic for me. It's just like, I mean, I guess it's that, but it's a combination of seeing something that you love just be broken and like
Yeah.
being like, wow, that's like effing amazing. And I remember one of the first times I was watching Cosmo do Wind Waker. Like, I loved when he was doing 9-hour streams and just doing Wind Waker runs and stuff, and you just like, like that one like super swim.
Yeah, it's
Wow.
Super Swim.
it's been that long. Super Swim, and it was like that one where he's got to like kind of hook around to get onto the beach. Like
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I think it's called Great Fish.
yeah, and
Yeah,
you,
Great Fish.
yeah, and you know that, and you're so tense, and you're watching, you're like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, and it's just like, I don't know, it's like you're obviously not as nervous as he is probably, but you're just like, oh my god, like this could like end the run, and it's just like there's something about that was just like really memorable, and one of the reasons I loved watching them.
Yeah.
But I haven't
Yeah.
really watched
One of the
speedruns in a while.
one of the first games I played like ever, like as a kid, was like Ocarina of Time, right?
Mm-hmm.
So like speedruns just kind of like
Of course.
of course, yeah. Actually, no, that's probably not true. It's probably more like Mario 3 on Super Nintendo, because I'm a little older than you guys, so I had a Super Nintendo. That I like before N64 or whatever. But yeah, the one I played myself a lot was Oot, and so seeing that game, like those games, like the Zeldas and stuff being played, even though it's like the speedrun doesn't even matter almost. Like it's just like the nostalgia hits me, and like, man, that game.
Yeah, because like for Wind Waker, I never beat it, and I didn't play it a shit ton. So like watching it, like being able to see it was cool for me in that aspect.
Right.
But like Oot, yeah, I played Oot a shit ton. I watched my dad play video games a lot when I was younger, because he had like all the consoles. We had like a normal like original Nintendo, Super Nintendo, basically all the Nintendos consoles, and I used to watch him play A Link to the Past all the time and stuff. I didn't really play it that much, but you were saying that you were you wanted to learn A Link to the Past and stuff, and it was just like that game. I love watching that speed run mainly because of the music. The music is just like perfect in that game.
Oh yeah, it's so good.
And
Yeah.
but like the speed run of it is like you have to be pixel perfect all the fucking time. Like it's
Oh
absolutely
yeah,
insane.
it's ridiculously hard.
I've noticed a lot of the SNES games are really hard to run because you have to be so precise. Like, fucking I was trying to learn Metroid. I couldn't even do a wall jump, like, at all. And I'm like, oh my god, I can't even. No, and
Yeah. Well, I've done some like 2D programming, right? And the thing is, like, a lot of the time when there is an error, it's an error of 1 pixel, you know? Like, so I guess like in 2D games it translates to being like pixel perfect basically. Whereas in 3D games there's a lot of like fudging it, I think, where it, like
Yeah.
walls are more like soft and they kind of push you out instead of it being like right lined up perfectly. Because 3D games don't really use pixels; they use like coordinates.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's funny that for me, Oot, like, even though Oot is so nostalgic for me, and like watching Cosmo do like any percent runs is super intense, but like watching like ZFG, even though I prefer 100% almost to any of the categories just because there's so many tricks and stuff. It could be just the streamer, I'm not sure, but like watching 100% is awesome, but I'm just like, I don't watch it very much. And even though I played that game a shit ton, it's kind of interesting. But I would prefer to watch Wind Waker, a game that I didn't really play. I'm not sure why.
Oh man, you should tell Zanel about the race we had with WoW.
Oh yeah.
Oh God.
So I can't remember why it was like. I think it's because you wanted to speed run something, but we were just like, we want to do something like a race together, and we didn't know what to do, and like WoW was kind of like that neutral thing. Even though you had a slight advantage, only a little bit. And so yeah, basically we set up a race, and it was like it was undead, I think rogue.
Yeah.
Undead rogue, no BOAs, no like guild or anything, nothing to boost our experience.
No add-ons.
Oh yeah, no add-ons. Fastest to get to level 10.
Yeah.
And it was actually pretty fun. And it was kind of like a unique thing because like people obviously did it because it was on SRL, but it was just like, it was totally different, you know, like you're trying to
And it took a lot longer than expected.
Yeah, it took like an hour and a half to 2 hours. It took you, I think, an hour and like 37.
Yeah.
And me an hour and 52 or something. It was like, okay.
How about if you guys went to 15? That would have taken like another hour and a half.
Oh yeah, it slows down so much after like
It's so
level 6.
stupid.
Yeah.
That's why I don't like leveling alts from level 1. Honestly.
Yeah.
You should get a RAF account. Helps a lot.
Yeah,
It's actually
Recruit a
quite
Friend.
fun.
Recruit a
Get them
Friend
on
was
follow.
awesome.
It was fun.
Yeah.
I found it fun because it was like I dicked around with multi-boxing with it. So I multi-boxed myself while leveling, and then I learned a lot about that sort of stuff, and I'm like techie like that, so that was
yeah,
was
I
fun.
probably wouldn't have done it if you hadn't done it first and kind of established a good way of doing it.
Yeah.
Like with the auto hotkey and stuff. Because
Yep.
that shit is like, it's still kind of over my head.
It's weird thinking about it. I actually programmed that all myself. Like I programmed the multi-box software. Like we didn't use the software. I made it. Like what the hell?
Yeah, it was.
You can program something with a WoW macro, is that what you're saying?
Pretty much. No, not macros. Auto hotkey. So.
Oh, okay.
There was some macros that you needed. Like you needed to have.
Oh yes.
You had 4, so you had like one that was target. I don't remember what they did, but there was one that was target, and one that was like make the person
Follow
like,
you and stuff.
Yeah, it was just like.
Yeah.
You did use Jamba with your with your thing, but it was like.
Right.
But all of your stuff was like, that was how we were able to, basically what we did is like when we multi-box, we had 2 of the same class, and so with the auto hockey, it made it so that we could, whatever we pressed on the main monitor, it would press on the other one, on the other game.
Yeah.
And so we would just have all the buttons the same way, and so and also that the one that you weren't controlling would auto go to your to the target and start attacking. So like we weren't like useless, like our multi-box wasn't useless. We actually were doing damage and stuff, and it was like really fun.
That's pretty great.
It was really cool.
The best was tanks, right? You get 2 tanks, and tanks are OP as hell while leveling now. So you have like 2 pallies was, I thought, the funnest. You did the warriors, which maybe might have been better, but the pally was just awesome. You threw the shields both at the exact same time, and like you're both
I did.
kind of like
I did
tanking.
pally too. Yeah.
Oh,
That
it's
was so
awesome.
much fun.
And you could heal yourself too because they both had heals. That was great.
It was a lot of fun. Because I just remember people like, oh, are you multi-boxing? And it's like, yeah. And it's like, but like, it's not, they weren't annoyed that we weren't doing anything, that we weren't doing the damage, because we were like owning the meters
Yeah.
and stuff with our tunes. But they were more like, oh, like, they were kind of like weird about it.
Yeah.
You know, they're like, they thought it was like illegal, but it's like not illegal. It was very weird. So I remember getting some message, and some people were really cool about it. They were actually like asking questions, and
Oh yeah, you got a lot more weirdos than I did.
yes,
Like
I got a ton of weirdos.
I had like one or two people go like, "Oh, I'm gonna report you," and I'm like, "Okay, go for it!" Like I'm paying for two accounts, yo. Blizzard doesn't care. Yeah, I don't know. The rest of them were like, "Oh, sweet," because like I would just like wreck the dungeon. I could basically two-man the dungeons.
Yeah, that was a thing.
Other than the priests, oh man, you did priests too, didn't you?
I did. Oh yeah, I had 2 disc priests.
A 2 disc priest. It was fucking terrible. I don't know what it is with 2 disc priests. You cannot heal a 5-man with 2 disc priests. It's really hard.
It was so.
It was better
fun.
once you got
It was fun though.
all the spells. It was fun, but like in a weird way. Like it was so hard.
It was fun because it was like it made it like really fucking hard. It was just like it felt
I don't
like
know
real 5-mans. You know, it was pretty.
I guess
pretty
like
funny.
disc at that level sucks at healing or something. So yeah, it was,
yeah, it's
rough.
weird because I've been leveling a monk because monks have that EXP boost and they're the only ones that have it. So I was like, oh, that would be the only thing that I want to kind of level, on Alliance side. But it was like, I saw it, like I was like I had a priest healer. Well, I've had a couple, and there was one that was holy, and they were like really bad. I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
cat is here. Oh, cat. And then I had a disc priest, and I was like, oh, thank God, a disc priest. And then all of a sudden, I was dying just as badly as with the holy priest. And I'm like, what is going on? Like, I just thought disc priests were OP all the time, but I guess not.
No, only if it's Sev.
Only if it's Sev.
Yeah.
That was
I
the
think
sad
it
thing.
was at the level we were at too. Like we had no spells. Like we had we had a heal and a bubble, I think, and that was it.
Yeah,
And we didn't have any like hots or anything.
Yeah,
So it made it really hard.
Yeah, we had, like, I know you get penance, which is really hard to heal with 2 disc priests.
Yeah.
And then you had the heal, and then you had the bubble. And, like,
Yeah, it was rough.
well, you had flash heal, and then you had that really slow, shitty heal that you never used because it was so shitty, and you're just like, okay. But I think Pally was fun. I'm trying to think of what else I multi-box with. I did Pally
Druid?
Priest.
Did you do Druid? I did Druid tanks. They're pretty fun.
I don't know if I did Druid. I think I might have leveled him straight up. I didn't do it with Shaman, I know that. I think I did it with everything except for Rogue, because fuck Rogues. No offense. I hate playing a Rogue.
How did I do my rogue? Oh, no, I used Recruiter, because when you get a level on Recruiter Friend, you can grant another level to a different tune.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't have to level my rogue at all. I just like used
Yeah.
those all the way up to level like 80.
That's basically what
Something
I
like that.
did with mine. That's why she's sitting at 73, and she's my auction house tune.
Auction house,
Well.
bitch,
Yes, exactly.
as I call mine also.
And I granted levels to my Warlock, well, but I got her to like 70.
Oh, you know what? I think I did the same thing. I didn't like the Warlock either.
Yeah, it was fun, kinda, and then it got really boring. Even when, and just like, it sucks leveling a DPS spec, and that's kind of why I kind of like, I made a monk as well, because you can be tank and stuff. But like leveling a DPS spec, the queues are so long, but the dungeons are so worth it. Like the dungeon quests, it's like, oh my god, just like you want to kill yourself because it's terrible, and it takes forever. I don't know. It's like,
WoD
Some people don't
normals.
like doing dungeons though while leveling.
yeah, I guess so.
WoD normals are like the shittiest queue times ever.
Yeah, I don't even, like, if I have a 90 or whatever that I'm leveling, I don't even do the dungeons unless it's like I'm 97 and I can do Sky Reach or whatever. Snuggles, do you mind? That's my face. Hi. Face. Everyone can see you.
Oh, another game Kate wants to play is Age of Empires 2, the old one.
Oh yeah.
Oh my, that was cute.
I know, he coot.
Nugs.
He's got a lot of scabs though, because he got in a fight recently, so he got cut up a little bit. Feel
I
bad.
always forget that Snugs is like a boy.
I know, because he's so pretty. He's very
Pretty much,
soft and shiny. But yeah, AoE.
But yeah, AoE, Age of Empires. Yeah, that's all. I want to play it too, because that game's awesome.
Well, I
There's
know
actually
we were
a-
talking about Bourbonog too at some point.
Oh yeah, Warcraft 3. Yeah, Bourbonog. That's a custom map. It's like tower defense. Pretty fun.
Really
We need to
fun.
get Xanil in on this stuff.
Oh,
Actually,
yeah.
do we have him on Skype? Do I have you on Skype?
I don't think
I think
we do.
so.
Contacts. Do you have Skype?
Yeah.
Yeah, like hello. Oh my god. I actually also wanted to ask you if you had Facebook, because I obviously have Facebook, but I was gonna creep you, but we can do that after. But yeah, so did you? So you? I know you talked a little bit about what games you played, Xano, but so you never played any of the Warcraft PC games like Warcraft 3 or anything?
No.
Yeah, me either.
I didn't either till like I went back and played Warcraft 3. I think like in Wrath I played a bit of it, and I didn't beat it, but it was good.
Yeah, I think Warcraft 3 Bourbonog was the only thing I played prior to WoW, like Blizzard wise.
Actually, you would really like the campaign because it like tells you story, like,
Yeah, like
you know, missing story, yo.
Yeah, that'd be like the
Lore.
only reason I play it, honestly.
yeah, I love lore of the game. Like I didn't really care about it up until my ex-girlfriend bought me a book for my birthday, and it was one of the it was the Tides of War, I think, and it was like about Jaina and Theramore and stuff, and it was just like about Garrosh being the complete asshole he is, and it was just
Whoa.
like it was such a good novel, and I was just like, okay, I'm hooked, and I started reading all of the novels, basically.
That must have been like early myths, eh?
Yes. Well, I think, yeah, because it was talking about the end of Kata, and like you actually get
Right.
to that part. You had to do. I remember because I was like really slacking on the dailies, and the dailies actually got you the point part of the book, and I was like, okay, I got to get done these dailies so I can
Oh,
advance.
that's interesting, actually.
Yeah, it was really neat. Like, there's a point in the book where, because Garrosh like drops this bomb basically on Theramore when you go, because if you go to it now, it's all destroyed. And Ronan, the guy head of the Kirin Tor, like dies or whatever. Lore lesson, by the way. And there's a point where Jaina Proudmoore kind of goes batshit crazy because of all this shit that Garrosh did and killing a bunch of her people and stuff. And so if you do these dailies, you actually go to Dalaran and you see her and she's patrolling around and she's red and she's got two elementals with her, and if you like aggro her, she like one-shots you basically. And it was just like really cool to see parts of the novel be implemented in the game as well, and it was just like that's what really got me hooked. I think it was really cool. That was the one thing I really loved about Myst was, yeah, the daily grind was kind of like whatever, it was like but like the story after, like as you progress through the dailies, was really, really cool. That was the only thing that really got me through, was the lore.
Yeah.
I was gonna say stuff, now I forget what I was gonna say.
Stuff. Oh, we were gonna talk about TOT.
Oh yeah, we can talk about that.
Yeah.
That thing that I said I was going to talk about that we always never do. So TOT, so we went back for people that doesn't know. It says I have 3 viewers, and I'm pretty sure 2 of them are you guys. So the one viewer, basically we went back and did some Throne of Thunder, which is a Myst raid. We did it heroic 25 man, and I know Monkey, I didn't raid with them, but I know Monkey did, I'm assuming 10 man. Did you do heroic attempts?
I never did heroic, no.
Okay, so like
But I did normal, like all of it.
yeah, so we went back and did 25 man heroic because we had like 15 people or something. And for the first time being in there out of LFR, it's hard to tell because we're raffling through it so much, but it was kind of cool to see it in a different way, and like going through all the paths that I never took because of LFR and stuff. You just skip everything.
Yeah, because LFR breaks it up and it feels like these little like doesn't feel real or something. It
doesn't feel like a raid because
No.
it feels like a small portion of like a hard dungeon or something, but not fun.
Exactly.
and that's how I feel like maybe this is a bit elitist or whatever, but like that's how it should be, because like, you know, you go into Molten Core. What happens when you go into Molten Core? You're at the entrance, you run through the whole dungeon, you kill like 80,000 bosses.
Yeah.
and
all the
trash.
Because all the trash are bosses.
And it's cohesive, right? But then you have LFR and it's like this like weird thing. Just
it just breaks it all
monster.
up. I don't like the breakup because like it makes it feel fake or something. I don't know if fake is the right word, but
and that's how TOT like feels to me. Like I did TOT LFR, but it being just one continuous raid is how I remember it. Like at least how I prefer to remember it.
Yeah.
Because I actually really like the raid. It's a really cool raid. Yeah, it's got like a little bit of everything in there.
Well, yeah, because you were saying like in raid that I totally had a thought that you liked the raid, but like it was just overtuned.
Yeah.
And we actually, Rash and I did some. We were looking at basically how long it took Monkey to clear some of the bosses, and we came to the conclusion that it was that 10-man on normal, mind you, not even heroic, normal TOT took longer compared to like the first kill of the final guy in not Old War.
Mogashan. Ow. You talking about Mogashan?
No. We were looking at Nax, the last guy in Nax. We were looking at the very first kill of original 40-man Nax, and based on what you guys were doing, it actually took longer to take down the first two bosses than it did for them to take down the first two bosses of one of the hardest raids ever.
Yeah, we looked. It was basically like the first boss. We killed the first boss in the first night, Jinrock. He was normal. He was fine. Took us like 2 attempts or something. It was not very hard, and it was cool. Kind of like warmed us up to the raid. And then Horadon was the issue. It was like I think it took a month for us to kill, and it was one of those raids. I've said this so many times, but like it was one of those raids where it wasn't about bringing the player, it was about bringing the class, right? And I happened to have a monk that could dispel what we needed on that fight, so I had to bring my monk in to heal, and that's how we got the kill. And I'm a way better DPSer than I am a healer, and we did it with me as healing. That's how stupid it was, and yeah, it just bad times in there. The rest of the bosses weren't as bad. It was just Horadon.
Apparently Duramu is terrible.
I'm not really sure. Like maybe.
I love that fight. I mean, it was LFR, but I love having to like go through the path of death and stuff. I don't know.
It's hard to say like what large. Maybe I wasn't there when they were progressing on it, and I came in for the kill or something like that. It could very much possible with my attendance kind of issues. But I didn't find that fight that bad. Like I don't know. You follow the path and stuff, and you break out the things from the stealth and whatnot. It's pretty cool. I don't know. I like the fight.
Yeah, I liked it too. I mean, I wish I did it on normal because I think it would have been just a little bit more challenging, which would have made it a little bit more fun. But yeah, I wonder.
It's definitely not a fight that's good for monkeys. Like you put it that way.
Oh yeah.
For me, I liked it. Yeah. I liked it a lot because like melee, if I have to move around and have to like follow a path like a maze and like have to be on like edge of my seat a little bit, that's awesome. I love that.
Mm-hmm. Oh, so here's a random question. What made you decide to play a rogue, Daniel? I don't even remember.
I think it had something to do with the fact that someone told me a long time ago, like this is probably like near the start of WoW.
Beginning.
That only rogues could dual wield. And I really like the dual wielding thing, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I was like, all right. So I still had that mindset that only rogues could dual wield.
Right.
So I guess that's why.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that is awesome. Cool. And
that has more meaning to what my first choice was. Actually, Rhuller, why did you choose? Why did you choose? We have to start with your mage because I was going to talk about Rock for a sec. Why did you choose your mage, and why did you choose the race and the class?
Okay, so my original tune was an undead mage.
Yeah.
And the reason I picked undead was because that was what I played when I used not private servers, wink wink, to play.
It was beta WoW, right? It was
beta.
You played in the alpha.
It was like, I think it was Wrath or Burning Crusade, or something. And so I was playing, so I picked an undead mage then, and I really liked it. And it was what I knew, kind of. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna stick with what I know. And plus, you were saying that mages. I mean, I was questioning it when I started playing, but you said that they're really good for like sheep and stuff. They're useful, basically, is what you said. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. So, well, then I'll just be a mage. And undead was just because I knew the area, like I knew the questing area, so I was like, okay, I could probably do this fairly quickly and catch up, kind of thing.
And then you never did.
I leveled them to 85, and I actually rated a tiny bit with Monkey, like I think once or twice in Dragon Soul on my mage, and that was terrible. But it was fine because there was 25 people. And
back when
Spine as a
25
caster would seem like a complete shit show, honestly.
what was that?
Spine as a caster.
Oh god, I didn't do it as a caster, but like
I feel really bad for them.
I think the casters were actually easy because they only had to stand in one spot.
Yeah, I think they had to move back and forth, right, to make it roll or not roll.
Oh yeah, the rolling. Yeah, see, like I didn't do it in normal, so like that wasn't a thing. But like on LFR, you just stood in the back, as far away as from the front as possible, and then yeah. So like LFR was a raffle.
In LFR, you stand in all the bad shit. That's how you do it.
The entire
That's how he's been,
fight.
apparently.
The entire fight is bad shit. So you just stand there. So, yeah, that's what I did for my first tune.
Well, for Rock, my hunter, troll hunter, basically, actually, okay, if I can remember, my buddy was like, they were talking about WoW, and actually thinking about it now, I haven't thought about this, but they were talking about stuff I had no clue what they were talking about. And I guess to talk to the nub me, right? They're like, oh, you should play a troll because they're really tall. Seriously.
What?
Because they're really tall. I'm not even kidding. And so I made a troll hunter because they were the tallest. Trolls are the tallest, like when they fully stretch, when they stand. So seriously, that is why I made a hunter. Actually, no, that's why I made a troll. Hunter, I was gonna be a rogue. I was like, oh, I want to be like a guy that's all like, sneaky and shit. It's like sneaking around buildings and whatever. But then I'm like, oh, the hunter gets a pet. That's sweet. So I'm like, I want to be a hunter. Yeah, that was it.
I just imagine 15-year-old you just being like, oh, stoked on a pet.
It was. Well, the thing is, it said, I remember it. It said that rogues used leather. I'm like, okay, leather, sweet, whatever. I don't even know what that means. Okay. The hunter also used leather. I'm like, sweet. So they're basically a rogue with a pet. It's exactly what I thought. Totally what I thought.
Oh my god, that's amazing. What made you choose a blood elf, Xanel? Out of everything, why?
Because they're attractive.
Oh, okay. The typical teenage boy response, they're hot. So I made one so I could slut her up in my fantasies.
Oh, totally.
There's some psychology there. I don't know what it means, but it means something.
That you're straight, I guess. I don't know.
For me, I always make my main is always male, and I think I try to make it represent me, like as a person more. But then my alts are always female, always. Like every alt I have is female, and I don't know why. So like, I guess maybe like my main is like the pimp for all my alts. I don't know. Something like that.
Oh.
See, I was originally gonna make my tune male, but I was looking through like all the like facial expressions or whatever and the hairstyles. I'm like, I may as well just make it a female.
Yeah, blood elf male is basically female. See, that makes sense, but like, it's funny because rogues generally are like tiny, like quote unquote tiny, like because they stealth and stuff, like they're nearly invisible, and so like being a female blood elf kind of works, and like an undead kind of works, troll for me, like I know stealth is a troll, but for whatever reason, it just like it seems weird.
It looks so awkward.
Yeah, it looks.
They're very awkward. They
very
are.
weird.
How about
how it
an
is.
orc rogue?
Yeah, see, those
Male
are weird
orc
too.
rogue.
I like male orc rogues. They feel, I don't know, they feel kind of badass. I don't know.
It looks so off though, especially if they have daggers.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, I don't know.
It's just kind of funny how rogue is like that's a thing, you know, like you kind of like some races do actually seem off being a certain class and stuff. Like,
Yeah, definitely.
and it's funny because you see most undeads, for example, most of them are casters. Like undead is more like, I guess it's because kind of like because they kind of the necro feel, like the necromancers and stuff, probably, you know, they're undead. And I think it's probably also because like you see in like the vanilla or like BC even, you see the undeads being casters in like the trailers and stuff, so people probably just like kind of made that a thing that, like,
Oh yeah, that's a good point. Like basically prior Warcraft history kind of like does that. And plus you could even go back to like Tolkien stuff where like it probably has stereotypes kind of for that sort of thing.
yeah.
Also there's racials like
Oh yeah, right.
like gnomes get bonus to intellect, right? So they make the best mage, and in vanilla that did matter. Not so much nowadays, but that kind of helped that along.
Yeah,
Certain classes.
that's true. I always
like
forget about
Tauren.
racials.
Taurens had the most health, so they like Tauren warrior was the shit for a tank. Yeah.
Blood Elf racial is such ass, just saying.
What is it now?
It, depending on what you are, like for me as a rogue, it restores like 15 energy or something and silences the target for like a second.
Right. Hey, it's better than War Stomp.
Ooh.
Or
Hey,
something.
War Stomp still has a cast time. What the hell's with that shit?
Oh, what the fuck?
It has,
Yeah.
it has like a 1 second cast time.
That's awful.
So I have to stop moving, click it, wait, and then go.
Yeah, it's-
I do use it. But not
So
for that.
it's so awkward. Like I never use it. I know I should, but I never do because it's just like, what is the point?
Horns did get a buff though in WoD. Finally, we have bonus to critical strike damage, not critical
right.
critical strike percent, but the damage it does. So it's pretty nice for Fury.
Yeah. Well, do you know what the original Blood Elf racial was?
For what I remember, it was you only got mana back, and you had to actually hit a target, and it would be like an explosion from
Oh,
you.
the Arcane Torrent thing. That's
Yeah,
still a thing.
that's still what it is, but you don't actually have to hit the target, I don't think.
Oh yeah, you had to hit a target, and I think it was depending on what you hit, it was how much you got back. So you could hit like 3 targets and get a lot back.
Interesting.
Yeah, it was actually it was nice for my tank when I had a pally tank,
Oh
female,
yeah.
and it was definitely nice. You could go and then you use that, get mana back. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, and I know I've asked this before, I think, but like, what made you do the change from hunter to warrior?
Well, for me, well, the warrior was actually made by my brother, older brother, quite a bit older, 6 years older than me, and Brashear is a reference to a hockey player, Donald Brashear, big guy I played in Canucks, and in vanilla, hunters were cool. I liked them. I also tanked on Brash. I started tanking on him in vanilla. I did ZG and stuff and alt kind of things. So I have some vanilla tanking experience, which was rough, but yeah. And then basically what happened is they changed. What did they do? No, they added Steady Shot in Burning Crusade, and I hated Steady Shot. I just didn't like it, so I stopped playing the Hunter. That was that, and I started playing Brash. And the guild that I was in allowed me to DPS a lot, plus tank on the side. So I was actually allowed to DPS in Burning Crusade, which was kind of rare in a raid, I guess.
As a warrior.
As a warrior, yeah. I was actually even allowed to DPS in vanilla, which was very rare.
You're just so good.
I don't know why. I think it was because I was an alt mostly. It was like they're not going to get me to tank because I have alt gear.
Oh
so
yeah, that's a good
get
point.
me to DPS or something.
Yeah,
And then I would tank on the certain bosses that need me.
Just do something less useful.
Yeah. So
Exactly.
it's funny with warriors. Kind of had this like slow, like really slow and long like process of becoming a viable DPS, and I think it was in Mists when they finally removed the threat off of Heroic Strike. And Heroic Strike, you used all the friggin' time as Fury. So you would have bonus threat all the time. And you'd pull aggro, so aggro's always been an issue. And they finally removed that in Mists, and I was still pulling aggro everywhere. I still don't have any threat dump. I kind of just don't have any extra threat now, which is nice. So we're kind of finally getting to the point where like we are finally like a legitimate DPS. It's nice.
Yeah, that's pretty bad. Thinking like I didn't realize it was like that bad, but I knew it was bad. But to have it up until Miss where you became a viable DPS without having to get that extra threat and stuff, kind of mind blowing.
Yeah, and I mean a lot of classes had that kind of issues. Like some classes had threat dumps from day one, like rogues and hunters and stuff. But like a lot of classes had issues, but I feel like it has kind of made my playstyle different. Like I'm not like a pure DPS. I'm kind of like, I almost one day expect to tank again or something, you know? Like I kind of dread it, but like it's there. And I guess I kind of respect that I'm allowed to DPS still a little bit. But yeah. And maybe that explains some of my things I do in Raid. I don't know. That's up to you guys to decide.
Well, I mean, now that I'm kind of like the off tank, which is kind of cool because like I only just started raiding this expansion, and to be able to be good enough to be an off tank this often is kind of cool to me. So I don't think you have to worry about tanking too much. But
no, I don't even take tank gear anymore. I used to sometimes take stuff. Now I only take shields, but that's just so I can like
maybe do gladiator raffle. Well,
yeah, well, and shield is not optional at all, whereas like the gear, like the trinkets and stuff are.
Yeah.
Like kind of. But you need a shield, period. So I'm gonna take the shields.
Mm-hmm.
But not the other pieces.
I was thinking about this because I was thinking about when I played my DK and when I got that my epic weapon. Xano, do you remember the first epic you ever got?
Yeah, I don't remember what it's called though.
Oh, well, like what was it and what was it from? Like was it a weapon or?
It was a sword from a dungeon.
Oh, see, that's cool.
Oh, Dragon's Call, that's what it was.
Cool.
Where's that from? Dragon's Call. Let me Google it. Dragon's Fall? Oh, Wrath?
All, I think he said.
Call.
Oh, Dragon's Call. Oh, Shade of Aranicus. Oh, you actually got that. That's
Yeah.
what is that from?
I think it's
Sunken
from that
Temple.
dragon at the end of the dungeon.
Sunken Temple. Yep.
Yeah.
That's right. See, that's a really rare weapon. Wow.
That's cool. Yeah. It's and I'm like it's cool that you remember that because it seems to be like that's one of the things that you like people remember. Maybe not new players now, you know, because like this expansion, like people like I wonder if people like even care about epics now. You know what I mean? Like they're so easy to get because of like LFR and stuff. But like, you know,
Did we ever figure out what my first epic was?
oh,
Or did
Lord.
I always forget.
I don't think we figured it out because it's not ringing any bells.
No. I mean,
It
there's significant pieces of gear I remember getting, but not
like because you have
epics.
giant stalker set that
Yeah.
you actually got in vanilla.
Well, you know what's actually even almost more memorable than that is when I got the ancient bone bow
Oh,
from
yeah.
Skolomance.
Yes.
I
Remember
got that after a few runs, and I was like, that was pretty cool because that was like the best pre-raid bow, I believe. And it looked pretty badass, and like that was a blue weapon, and like seriously, that was pretty significant. And then I also from the same, I think like might have even been the same boss. He dropped hatchets, and I had two of those. They were like what were they called? Some sort of hatchet. They were like a brown hatchet that had agi on it. And I had two of those as my melee weapons, and like that is pretty memorable. But not. I don't think I got many epics prior to like raiding. I think that's the issue.
Mhm.
I don't think I had many drops, so it was probably just raid loot, like some sort of bracer or like something on Brash in ZG.
What was that really rare mount that you guys were talking about last week that dropped off at the boss in Stratholme?
Oh, Baron Rivendare's Death Charger.
Yeah. The first time I went in there, I saw it drop, and I
Oh.
lost the roll by like 5 or something like that.
Wow.
Damn.
I don't
Yeah.
think I've ever seen it drop. That's
No,
yeah.
I've never seen it drop.
Yeah, I've never
heard of
seen it again.
drop, but that's it.
Yeah, you'll
I think
never
it
see
might-
it again.
I say it a lot, but like I think it still might be one of the rarest, or if not the rarest, percent wise.
Well, maybe I'll see it again in the next 10 years.
Because think about it, that dungeon's been in the game since like basically day one, and not everyone has that mount. Like, I'd say more people have like the Tempest Keep Hawk than that mount. I don't know,
Jeez.
but maybe,
Maybe people just don't want to go there.
but I don't know.
Yeah, I actually forgot about that whole thing to go grind that shit. It'll take me. Actually, it probably won't take me that long knowing my luck with the mounts.
No, yeah, you got crazy luck.
But yeah, no, that's crazy. Just like, oh yeah,
I
and
feel like the newer the tune, the better the luck.
oh,
I feel like
I
there's some
see.
gaming there.
You gotta like catch up. They're like, oh, well, you're new, so we'll give you all the cool things, so you'll stay.
Yeah, like I don't know, it's weird. Because I was watching this other guy, I can't remember who it was, but some warrior, and he made a new warrior as a second warrior for mythic rating kind of deal. So you have like a alt tune, and he was running all the old dungeons for transmog and stuff, and he literally had like 7 drops in a row, all like rare. He got like Thunder Fury in like 2 weeks.
What the fuck?
Yeah, like it was insane, and like he didn't have any of this stuff on his main like warrior, and I was like, what? Like, and that's kind of sparked the idea that maybe new tunes have a slightly higher like luck, like rating or something. behind
It's
the
like
scenes.
the Flintstones movie or whatever, where Fred's gambling and then that guy like pulls the lever to get rid of his luck or whatever.
Oh,
Oh yeah,
I haven't seen the movie, so
I love that movie.
So funny.
So good.
wow.
Well, I was thinking about it. Like all of the drops I've gotten have never been on my main. They've always been on my alts because I would run them on multiple tunes, like the dungeons
Right.
and stuff. Like Anzu, I got on my shaman. I remember specifically, because doing it on my shaman was brutal. Like, oh my god, it was
Right.
bad. And then, and the orb and the white hawk strider I got. The hawk strider I got on my shaman as well. Shaman hacks.
Really?
Yeah. The orb I got on my mage. I don't even know what else is rare. I did get that new mount that I got was on my main, but other than that, I think all of my stuff has been alts. So I don't know if that's like fueling the idea, but I think it is.
It helps
It
it,
could
yeah.
be.
I think it's completely random, but yeah.
Well, I mean, thinking about like in Panda Land, like monks, like your monk was getting all the loots, right? Like your monk was like super lucky, and it seemed like all the monks were like lucky.
I don't know. My monk was fairly lucky, but she also had some unlucky stuff, right? Like her never getting like bracer. No, what was it?
No, your main
Bracers?
never got bracers.
Oh no,
Yeah,
boots.
Brash never. Oh yeah, you needed boots.
Was it boots? I had
Yeah.
like literally green boots on hair for like so long on my monk. But yeah, she had some like good and bad luck.
Brash needed bracers forever.
Well,
Oh, on Brash, yeah. There was a bracer issue, definitely.
Damn. Bracers.
Multiple bracer. And there was weapon issues too. Like I had epics, but yeah, it was like. Actually, I had really, really good luck with weapons really early on in Mogasham Vaults. Yeah, I had like awesome weapons. I had like some of the best item level on the realm. It's weird. And then from then on, like we never saw weapons until like friggin' I don't know. I had an Agi weapon, remember?
Yes.
I had an Agi axe from the third boss in TOT, and that was my
oh
main
god, that's
hand.
awful.
My offhand was a weapon from Shaw of Fear in Terrace.
Yes.
Yeah.
How did you even DPS?
Well, I simmed it out, and it was actually better because the raw weapon damage was better. Yeah, that's how
Okay.
bad our weapons were. Like, we just couldn't get them to drop. We had 3 warriors. Large on his warrior had a blue weapon, until we went through all of Mogoshan Vaults, never got a weapon. All of Heart of Fear, never got a weapon. And then Terrace, we finally got a weapon to drop off that, and the first one, we just mercied it to him. I'm like, dude, I'm not even rolling. You're taking the damn weapon.
Wow.
And so, yeah, we killed Shaw of Fear with a blue weapon. The 3rd raid. First tier, but 3rd raid, yeah.
That's so awful.
It was insane.
That's awful. That is terrible. Like, I guess it was just like, I don't even know how that even happens.
And we didn't even have 2-handers for me to have 2-handers. Like, I was still using 1-handers. Like Regoth got a few 2-handers and stuff. We had some 2-handers, but like they were already allocated, or I lost a roll or whatever. Like, it was just bad. Strength weapons as a whole were terrible.
3 warriors didn't help though.
No, it didn't. Not at all.
It happens.
Yep.
So just back to like how I was talking about my first epic. I actually had a second one drop in the same day. It was a little bit after. Is the Orestone Hammer. It was I think it's a caster hammer or something.
Yeah.
Because it has spell power and spirit. But I was like, how did that even happen?
Yeah, like I don't think I've ever seen epic dungeon pieces drop. Actually, ever. Besides, like, all the obvious ones that were already epic, like the 3 dungeons in Kata. But like the rare ones that you can get at the end, I don't think I've ever seen one.
And it feels like so long ago. Like, I'm thinking back to vanilla, right?
But yeah, because all those dungeons are like relevant back then.
Yeah, like, but in Burning Crusade, like, all the final bosses had a pretty good chance of dropping an epic, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think they always dropped an epic, but they had a chance of dropping 1 epic. And there was like a shield and a weapon, and I'm pretty sure I saw all of them at least once. I don't know if I got very many of them, but I got a few of them. And that's like the thing I miss about Burning Crusade is you could do raids, you could do Karazhan, you could do some Serpent Shrine and whatever, but you still went to those dungeons, and at the end you had a chance to get that epic weapon, and if it did drop, it might be an upgrade, even over your raid kind of gear. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because item level wasn't a thing, and certain items just had crazy itemization. Like, maybe they were really slow, so that made them really good for certain things, like AoE or whatever. And so you could get this weapon, and you would take it, even if it had like lower damage, just because it might be better. And I miss that sort of thing.
Well,
like,
yeah.
ways of progressing outside of a raid.
Yeah, and that's what dungeon really really good for. Shit. I was gonna. Oh no, I remember. Actually, I remember the one epic, and I've told this story before, but it was we were in. It was the one where I got that. It was that BOE staff that dropped.
Yeah.
And I rolled need on it because I was a noob and didn't realize that you shouldn't need BOEs and stuff. And then I was like, oh shit, I'm so sorry. And we re-rolled for it, and I won it anyways in the rolls. And I was like, okay, I guess I'll keep it. And they're like, yeah, it's fine, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, okay. But I guess that's probably the only one that I remember, at least, epic, that dropped in a dungeon.
Yeah, that was cool because you actually got to use that. I remember this story.
Yes, because I was on my mage.
Yep.
And I was like, oh, it's an upgrade need.
Yeah, I mean, I would argue that if they were like, oh, you don't roll in BOEs, I'd be like, yo, it's an upgrade. In that case, you can roll need.
Well, yeah, now it's kind of like a joke. Like, if it's an upgrade, I just need it.
Yeah.
Like, on an alt or whatever. Like, I'm doing old dungeons and whatnot. Not that many of them are, because you're rocking the BOAs and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. Well, folks, we've been talking for a really long time. I'm actually surprised.
Yeah. Wow.
So I think we'll end it here. And I want to thank Xanol again for joining us. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was.
I hope to have you back again sometime soon. And thanks for Bresh, because he's here every time, so thank you for being here.
Yay, thank me.
Yay.
Yay.
Super excited. It's unfortunate we didn't really have much of a chat going on tonight, but that's okay. I know a lot of people have real lives that they can't stay up and do.
Wait, what? That's a thing.
What's life? Well, also it helps that you're only an hour ahead of us instead of 3 hours. So
Yeah, probably.
most of the people.
I'm sure we get some views after the fact, right, on YouTube.
Yeah, that's true. So people will watch it eventually, but yeah. So thanks everyone that popped in and did watch. Down to 1 viewer now, so thanks all that 1 viewer forever.
That doesn't even make sense because there's 3 of us in here.
Yeah,
whatever.
I don't get.
I don't
it.
count. I'm
You
just a
don't-
mod.
It's Twitch.
Yeah, Twitch being broken as usual. So yeah, so thank you guys again, and yeah, we'll see you guys next week.
Thanks, everyone.
But